Veterans and Human Services Committee to order at 6:31. Myself and Councilor Waterman are present. All right, first we're going to call Peter Gagné to the podium.
Good evening, council members. How are you tonight?
Good, thank you.
My name is Peter Gagné. I reside at 747 North Main Street, and I'm seeking a position on the NBC. I've sent a list of small group of questions, so to answer them, what experience and skills do I have that make me a good candidate for this position? I bring about a set of skills and experiences that I've gained in the last 30 years plus that are unique into the maintenance and building structures and spaces, whether they be residential, retail, office, manufacturing, or in historic structures. Specifically, I've been asked to sit down with architects and designers to help go through plans before they've been finalized and move forward to identify potential problems before the structures have been renovated or built. And I've also seen situations firsthand where, although the building was built to code and to specs, that there have been problems down the road where I've noticed that components of the buildings or equipment in the building have not been able to be maintained in a proper manner, and therefore they end up being destroyed in the process because they lack the maintenance thereof. Why am I interested in this position? I'm interested in this position because I feel that my experiences and my skills may help the board and therefore the city feel that they are receiving the best service and pricing from contractors for projects before them. Sorry, I'm a little nervous.
Nothing to be worried about.
You're doing fine.
Yep.
Thank you. Next question was, what is the first issue in front of this committee or board that you are passionate about? My passion is not on a specific issue that is currently before any board, committee, or commission in the city, but rather my passion is the general preservation of the properties and buildings that the city is in care of for the public. I am passionate about the city being fiscally responsible towards the taxpayers and the care of their buildings. Well, last question I was asked is, what else would you like the council to know? I'd like the council to know, as I've said earlier, that I've been in the maintenance of properties and buildings my entire adult life. Maintenance has provided me with a way to support my family in a way that I'm proud to be able to do. I've also been a resident in the city for 28 years and have lived in the Attleboro area my entire life. So I've seen many changes through the years that the city's gone through, but none have actually excited me as much as moves that the council has made within the last couple of years, moving forward with setting up maintenance for the buildings for the city. I feel that is incredibly important, and I'd like very much to be part of that moving forward for the city. And that's all I have.
Well, thanks, Peter. I appreciate you coming down, and I'm very glad that you had a discussion with Council Waterman. And I personally think you're going to be a great fit. I mean, we had a quick discussion earlier, and you certainly have. I think you have the right mindset for it, and so thank you very much, Council Waterman.
Well, this is very exciting to me, particularly with your experience. The meetings have had they're a little different time in the day, and like, for example, they're meeting tomorrow at 5:30. I know you work near Worcester?
That's correct.
Are you able to make a 5:30 meeting once in a while if you can get down here?
Yes, my day normally ends right about 3 o'clock.
Oh.
And it's only like a 45 minute drive from
That's
us.
great. You'll be a tremendous addition. And we are, I believe the city is taking much more responsibility now of looking at the buildings and trying to keep them in shape and so that's up to our building inspector now. He's taking on that position. So that's terrific.
Councilor Dolan, did you have anything?
No, I just want to say thank you for offering to volunteer, and this is a very important board, and it sounds like you'll be a good fit, so I appreciate you wanting to volunteer for it, so thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Well, thanks, Peter. Appreciate you coming down, and we'll be in touch soon.
Okay.
Feel free to give me a call with any questions if you have.
Very
in
good.
the meantime.
Thank you very
Great.
much.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks a lot, Peter.
Braden, your turn.
Hi, Councilman. My name is Brian LaPrade. I live at 12 Pheasant Lane in Attleboro. So, experiences first, right? Okay, so to talk about like a few experiences and skills that would make me better for this position. Well, throughout the past, I'd say, past year really, I've had like some difficulties recently. Like I've had some like personal issues going on, and throughout that, I've still remained a dedicated and motivated student. I've participated in many AP courses over the last several years. I have conducted myself diligently, and I have become I've been somewhat providing now recently in my family. I've made my own purchases. I've started to help out a bit more. What else? I think I can be a very empathizing person. I feel like I understand people who are going through different circumstances than myself. I can understand the challenges that they go through my own personal hardships and challenges. I feel as though, as someone who's currently applying at colleges, who's working at least like around 20 hours a week, I can recognize like some of the challenges that can come with that can come with some of this more challenging schedules that people may have, and such as like low-income students and citizens here. I feel as though like for people that don't have like that ability to I should probably look at my phone for this, but
It's okay. Not a problem.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about.
I feel like for me, like the job is more of like a voluntary thing, but I recognize for like certain people that they won't be able to afford like in education, they have to participate in these. Like they have to find a way to make money and means for themselves. I don't have that needs. I can still go by like relying on my parents a bit for that sort of thing, but I still try to do that. And in that understanding, I want to try to find ways to make it easier for them, for those students, for those of us who are financially challenged and just in other means.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming in, volunteering. It's not always an easy thing to do. One of the things that I've always felt is, we all have challenges, and how you deal with them, and how you embrace them, and how you learn from them, and I can quickly see that you've embraced it, you've learned from it, and it's helping you becoming, the young man that you are and continuing to be and stuff. So I appreciate it. Council Waterman?
The Youth Commission, to me, is an exciting piece of our city. What is your understanding right now of? What do you know about the Youth Commission and what they're doing?
I'm not entirely sure what projects they are engaged in right now, but I know like what they're like meant to do, what their purpose is. And
Go ahead with that. What would you
well, the purpose is to mainly advocate for like people our age, for the youth, their issues, to provide guidance for legislators in our local community, to give them like a direction with like how like our issues, like what needs to be addressed, sort of to give them some feedback on like certain policy, that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine, and we're well, I'm very sure that you'll definitely dive right in and be of help to the Youth Commission. Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And to go back on another thing, never mind, lost train of thought.
No problem.
Yeah.
I do it all the time. Council Dolan?
Well, thank you for volunteering, and I love the fact that you said empathy, because it's a huge quality to have. It's a great quality to have, and unfortunately, usually that quality comes from a struggle of some type. So I think you'll make a good addition, and I certainly wish you well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, now I remember. It was civic participation. And sort of like motivation almost. Like I haven't really been that involved with Attleboro, but I've been trying to find sort of like my way forward like that, like to look at like sort of politics here in the United States and outside of it as well. And I feel like through My actually family can definitely attest to that. Like I constantly getting into those little bouts and debates and all of that. I've been trying to do lots of research, sort of, again, diligent research into what is happening outside of me and my circumstance, as well into like just things that really do affect the youth, such as like education, housing affordability, healthcare.
Well, we're counting on you. The youth.
And the youth, yeah. I mean, they serve direct change, really.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much, Braden, and as we discussed earlier, you'll be hearing from us very shortly.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Sierra?
Hi, my name's Sierra Cardi. I live at 27 Olive Street, and I'm here to volunteer for the Attleboro Youth Commission. Some skills that I possess and think that would make me a good candidate is that I have very strong communication skills, which allows me to effectively communicate with other people. And I feel like I'm a very sensitive person, not in sensitive in the way I cry a lot, but sensitive in the way where I can reside with people's emotions and I understand people on a deeper level. So I think that makes me a good candidate. I'm interested in this position because I believe that the Attleboro Youth Commission will allow members to make a difference in the Attleboro community. Honestly, I haven't been here for long. I moved here when I was in 7th grade, but from what I've seen so far, I think there's a lot of things, especially within the youth, I feel like there's a lot of things that could be, I want to say adjusted, especially at the high school. So yeah. One thing I'm passionate about is helping people. I used to volunteer at Urban Food Pantry, and even at a young age, I always went down to my local soup kitchen, and I just found joy in doing things like that. So helping people is something that's been big in my life. And honestly, I don't know anything else that you guys can know. I think I covered everything.
All right, well, thank you very much. I think you'll be another great addition to the Attleboro Youth Commission. We got a great group on there, and it's I always love hearing when someone's donated some time to a pantry and stuff, and we have some really good ones. We have the Hebron Food Pantry in here, and they can always use some help, and the Youth Commission does a lot of great things and stuff, and you'll be a welcome addition to them, and so thank you very much for stepping up and volunteering. Council Waterman?
I have one question
All right.
for yourself.
Okay.
So I was under the misassumption perhaps that we were talking about the Cultural Council, no?
This is for the Attleboro, it's cultural, I'm sorry. I had it in my apologies. I said Youth Commission, Cultural Council. I'm sorry. You're right. It's Cultural Council.
Oh yeah, this is the
You knew it
Cultural
was the
Council.
Cultural Council?
I thought it was the Youth Commission. I thought they were kind of connected because that's what I was kind of told.
I thought it was the Youth Commission too as well.
So is this a misprint?
Let me see.
Just give us a minute. We want to make sure that
Yeah.
you're on the right place.
No, Cultural Council. It came down through the mayor's communication as Cultural Council. I had it in my head as Youth,
Sure.
Youth Commission.
Sure.
So, does that make sense to you,
Yeah.
Cultural Council?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, good. All right, my apologies.
So can I ask a few questions relating to that? So let's assume now we got this right, and it is Cultural
Yeah.
Council. What is your understanding of what the Cultural Council does?
My understanding is that the Cultural Council takes time and it meets and they come together and decide what parts of the community gets grants.
Right.
And those grants, they could go to businesses, they could go to the arts and things like that.
Absolutely. And it's a very important source of survival for our various theater groups, for one thing. Basically, those that receive our grants are not groups that easily get money. So this is very important. I'm in a theater group myself, which the Cultural Council grant makes a huge difference. What attracts you to the Cultural Council?
Like I mentioned earlier, my willpower to help people. I think, especially like living here, I noticed like a bunch of like small businesses and like small organizations, like there's a lot of things that they can't really do because they don't get enough of money. And joining the Attleboro Cultural Council,
Right.
will allow those groups to get money and do the things that they're passionate about doing.
Great. Beautiful.
And I'll get to you in a second, Councilor Dolan. Because I had it in my head as youth commissioner. I apologize because,
Okay.
but this is great, and we do have a really good group on the cultural council as well. And so, how long you been in Attleboro now?
I want to say about 5 years.
Wow. So, excuse me. So, that's great. I mean, being as young as you are and ready to, and already doing so much time donating and stuff, and I think you're going to add a lot to the council. So that's great. I appreciate it very much. Councilor Dolan.
So so you cleared it up, it's the cultural council?
It is cultural council.
So you can be on the youth commission as well, if that's what you
Yeah.
would like to do. I just wanted to make sure that it was us that was confused and not you, because you can still be on the youth
Yeah.
commission if you'd like to do that. Completely up to you.
It sounds interesting, so I'd be interested in doing that too.
Yeah, so I mean, you can talk to
Yeah.
Council Angela about it, whatever. I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
you knew that you could be on both, or you could change whatever you want to do. So I just wanted to make sure that you're aware of that, and thank you for volunteering.
What grade you in?
11.
11th. I think where I get confused is as young as she is, and I'm thinking it was youth commission. So obviously it was my mistake and my confusion. I apologize to the panel and the council and stuff. So, but this is great. No, I think, and feel free to call me or text me or email me at any time. And if you have any questions, by all means, let me know, and we can help you do whatever you would like.
Okay, thank you.
Great, thanks, Sierra. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Glad to have you.
Okay. From the docket of November 7, 2023, I entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Braden LaPrade to fill an unexpired term on the Youth Commission, term to expire February 2025.
Second.
Thank you, sir. I mean, obviously, we just heard minutes ago from Braden. I mean, very impressive. I think he's going to add a lot to the Youth Commission. Any questions?
No, I'm sure
right.
he'll be fine.
Great. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. From the docket of November 7, 2023, I entertain a motion to transfer $2,648.64 from account 11241-000-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund to transfer to account 154-11000-514037 Council on Aging prior year earned time payout. Second?
Second.
All right, thank you,
Sorry.
sir. So basically, what happened is we got some new people on the Council on Aging, and I'm sure you're more familiar about this than anybody. And so they're still learning. It wasn't like there was this big training going on. So we got some great people in place, and they're doing a great job, and they're learning. And it was just a clerical error, and now it's being corrected, and this is what that's at. So, it's someone had left, and it's no longer with them, and so that's going to be the payout.
Right, for that
transfer for
position.
that. Sure. Yeah. Any questions, comments? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. For the docket of November 7th, 2023, I entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Peter Gagné, 747 North Main Street, to fill an expired term on the Municipal Building Commission, term to expire February 2026.
Absolutely. Second.
Thank you, sir. We just heard from Peter. I think, obviously, he's going to be a great fit to the Building Commission. I'm really happy to see him on there. I think that's going to be a really, really good fit, so I'm very excited about that.
I think it's a perfect fit.
Yeah, and I think
He's a pro. This is what he does.
To your credit, Council Waterman, I think you got him. You discovered him. So, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. From the docket of November 7th, 2023, I entertain a motion to approve the appointment of Sierra Cardi, 27 Olive Street, to fill an expired term on the Cultural Council, term to expire February 2026.
Second.
All right. Obviously, we just heard less than 2 minutes ago from Sierra, and I mean, she's a very impressive young lady, and I think she's going to be a fantastic fit. And I think we're going to see, from Braden and from Sierra, I think we're going to see a lot of nice things in the coming future from these young people.
I agree, and I also think it's a really good idea to have some high school students in on the cultural council.
Yeah,
Positive.
I'm not positive, but Sierra might be the first one from what I know.
First one that I recall.
Yeah. So I'm excited about it. Okay.
I could write a list of recommendations for someone like that. I know a lot of people who are like members of bands, who are members of theater, things like that, who like have started many leadership positions there.
All right. Well, you'll have to send me an email with some suggestions then. Great. Thank you, Braden. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. That's all we have for Personnel Veterans Human Services Committee. I call for adjournment at 6:52.
Second.
Thank you, sir. We're all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We're adjourned.
Municipal Council to order at 7 o'clock. Please join me for a salute to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, would you please read the notice of the special meeting, please?
Yes, Mr. President. October 18th, 2023, members of the Municipal Council, from James Delisio, Council President. Councilors, by authority of Article 2, Section 2-7C of the Attleboro Home Rule Charter, I hereby call a special meeting of the Municipal Council as follows. Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, at 7 p.m. at 77 Park Street, Council Chambers, to discuss legal matters before the council, specifically a reconsideration filed for Tuesday, October 17th, 2022. Sincerely, James Delisio, President.
Thank you. I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. We're suspending the rules tonight. The special meeting will be for one piece of business, and that is to amend the language that was used in the tax classification vote last week. This was brought up and recognized by Vice President Kobus. This is more procedural, just to bring the language better in line with what we've used in the past, as well as to ensure that it is acceptable to DOR. Okay. So that being said, I will now give up the seat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll recognize President Delisio.
Thank you. I move to reconsider a vote from the October 17th, 2023 meeting relative to the tax classification vote, which reads from the docket of October 3rd, 2023. Public hearing was held on 10/3/2023. I move that the percentage of the tax levy be borne by each class of property for fiscal year 2024 is 1.41.
Second.
Motion's in order.
Thank you.
Comments?
I just want to, again, just say that the language that we used here at first glance looked like it was appropriate, looks like similar to what we've used in the past. However, through the diligence of yourself, Vice President Kobus, we realized that there was a little ambiguity in it, which we wanted to remove. So that's why we're going to be doing this tonight.
Thank you. Are there any other comments? And again, this is just a motion to reconsider this. This isn't a vote. This is just the motion to reconsider. Are there any other comments on this item? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Mr. Tavares.
Yes.
President Delisio.
Yes.
Vice President Kobus.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
President Delisio?
Thank you, Vice President Kobus. From the docket of October 3rd, 2023, I moved that the percentage of the local tax levy be borne by each class of property for fiscal year 2024 is 1.41.
Second.
Thank you.
Motion's in order. President Delisio?
I would move to make the the following amendment, that I move to adopt a classification factor of 1.41 for fiscal 24.
Second.
Motion's in order. President Delisio again?
I have no further comments.
Are there any other comments? And this is on the amendment to adopt the correct language. And again, this is just on the correct language. It is maintaining the will of the council in adopting the same classification rate that was approved by the council last Tuesday. It's just correcting the language to be the appropriate language. And again, this vote would be on the amendment. Are there any comments on the amendment? Hearing none. Roll call vote. Madam Clerk?
Mr. Tavares.
Yes.
Mr. Angelo.
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds.
Yes.
Ms. Holmes.
Yes.
Ms. Bennett.
Yes.
Mr. Conti.
Yes.
Ms. Dolan.
Yes.
Mr. Waterman.
Yes.
President Delisio.
Yes.
Vice President Kobus.
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Thank you.
Motion passes. And now we're back to the motion as amended. Are there any comments on the motion as amended? Hearing none. Madam Clerk?
Do you want to read it again? Just,
Sure. I move
President
to,
Delizio, go ahead.
I move to adopt a classification factor of 1.41% for fiscal year 2024.
Are there any questions? So we're voting on the
Second.
motion as amended. Madam Clerk?
Okay. Mr. Waterman?
Yes.
Ms. Dolan?
Yes.
Mr. Conti?
Yes.
Ms. Bennett?
Yes.
Ms. Holmes?
Yes.
Ms. Reynolds?
Yes.
Mr. Angelo?
Yes.
Mr. Tavares?
Yes.
President Delicio?
Yes.
Vice President Cobus?
Yes.
10 yeas, 0 nays.
Motion passes. All right. What's that?
You can adjourn the meeting.
Move to adjourn?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned, 7:05.
Thank you, everyone. That's a lot of me.
Well, 7:05. So I call the License Committee to order. In the License Committee, we have Counselor Waterman, me, Counselor Tavares, Counselor Dolan. We have several items of business, taking up 4 of them here. From the docket of November 7th, 2023, I would entertain a motion to approve the Class 3 renewal application from Tri-Town Auto, 1850 County Street, with 4 customer parking spaces and 6 display spaces.
Second.
Thank you. I've been down to visit. Actually, I stopped in there twice this past week, and everything is perfectly fine. They're actually using 1 display space at the moment, but they're allowed 6. And there are no issues. Is there any questions? All right. So all those in favor?
Aye.
And I say aye, and the vote passes 3-0. And also from the docket of November 7th, 2023, I entertain a motion to approve the Class 2 license renewal application from Tri-Town Auto Sales, 1850 County Street, with 4 customer parking spaces, 6 display spaces. The same, everything is in perfect order, and there are no issues. Any questions?
Second. Did you second? I'm sorry. I keep thinking I'm still the vice chair, so if you want a second,
You
please go
can
ahead.
jump right in with any second you want. But I did hear a second here. So, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And the vote passes 3-0. And right across the street from Tri-Town, we have Just Trailers. I entertain a motion to approve the Class 1 license renewal application from Just Trailers, Inc., 1863 County Street, 12 customer parking spaces, 7 display spaces. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. And comments, everything is in perfect order. I've talked to the owner who lives in Walpole. There really are no issues. Sort of silly of me, but it didn't dawn on me just because they're called Just Trailers that they sell just trailers. But they do. Just Trailers. It's a great name. So I'm absolutely fine with what they're doing. Any questions?
No.
None? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Vote passes 3-0. And from the docket of November 7th, 2023, I would entertain a motion to approve the Class 2 license renewal application from Courtesy Auto Group, Inc., DBA Courtesy Kia Mitsubishi at 11 and 16 Scott Street, with 34 customer parking spaces and 172 display spaces.
Second.
Thank you. So I've also been there. They're selling all new cars, and they are fine. No issues. We counted all the display spaces. They're within what there is. They're within the 172 spaces. Any questions?
So they're selling Class 2, so they're selling used.
Yeah, I made a mistake there. That is true. They do sell some used, yes, and many new. So any other questions? Everything was fine there. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And opposed? None. And the vote passes 3-0. And that is all the business that the License Committee has tonight. I would ask that we meet at the next appropriate time. Thank you.
Second, we gotta adjourn.
We do need a second. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
And I say aye, we are adjourned.
I'd like to call Public Works to order at 7:10. I have 3 items from the docket of November 7th, 2023. I entertain a motion to transfer $6,714.72 from account 6100578-300 Water Enterprise Fund Reserve Fund for transfer to account 6100578-020 Water Enterprise Fund bills from previous years to pay a fiscal year 23 invoice to Rochester Bitumus.
Second.
This is just a bill that came later that we had to pay. Does anybody have any questions?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. From the docket of November 7th, 2023, I entertain a motion to transfer $57 from account 6100578-300 Water Enterprise Fund Reserve Fund for transfer to account 6100578-020 Water Enterprise Fund bills from previous years to pay a fiscal year 23 invoice to New England Testing Laboratories, Inc.
Second.
Thank you. Same thing, bill came after the fiscal year. Does anybody have any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. From the docket of October 3rd, 2023, I entertain a motion to approve the request of National Grid to construct a line of underground electric conduits, including the necessary sustaining and protecting fixtures under and across public ways at 27 through 39 South Main Street.
Second.
So if you remember the public hearing, we had them here, and this is for the new place at the Old Fishnet. Does anybody have any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion passes. That's all the business for the Public Works Committee. I'd like to call for an adjournment at 7:12.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We're adjourned. Thank you.
I'd like to call the Finance Committee to order at 7:12. Sitting on this committee are myself, Councilor Cobus, and Councilor Reynolds. I have 3 motions to bring before you and another discussion that we can have after the motions. From the docket of November 7th, 2023, I entertain a motion to transfer $312.32 from account 1145100-530107, Treasurer Banking Services, to account 1145100-558010, Treasurer Data Processing Supplies, to purchase W-2s, 1099s, and envelopes for the calendar year 2023.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Cobus. Ordinarily, I would think that this would be a budgeted item, but the budget apparently is so tight that she did a $312 request to buy forms.
Right.
So, I would recommend we pass this ordinance. Is there any discussion?
None.
Hearing none, the motion's in order. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. From the docket of November 7, 2023, I entertain a motion to transfer $6,613.54 from account 1124100-578300 Citywide Reserve Fund for transfer to account 1301000-562-200 Education Bristol AGHS Debt Assessment for the Bristol County Agricultural High School Debt Service for fiscal year 2024.
Second.
So, this item is one that we cannot budget for because we never know what it is until they inform us what the debt is, which changes every year, and this year it's a little over $6,600. Is there any discussion, questions? Hearing none, the motion's in order. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes unanimously. And finally, from the docket of September 19, 2023, I entertain a motion to approve the following loan order request. A loan authorization of $1,580,000 is needed to provide funding for the engineering services and related costs of the design, permitting, and bidding for the permanent facility to treat PFAS located at the Wading River plant in Mansfield. Ordered that $1,580,000 is appropriated for the design, permitting, bidding for the permanent PFAS treatment facility to be located at the Wading River plant located at 250 Balcom Street, Mansfield, Massachusetts, including all costs incidental or related thereto, that to meet this appropriation, the treasurer, with the approval of the mayor, is authorized to borrow $1,580,000 under Section 7, Paragraph 7 of Chapters 44 of the general laws or any other enabling authority, and that the mayor is authorized to take any other necessary convenience to carry out this project.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Cobus. This was discussed in detail during the last presentation when the superintendent of water appeared before us. We've been talking about PFAS now for 3 or 4 years. What I'm happy to hear is the PFAS will be reduced to nearly zero, which is rather remarkable. It is a severe problem that has affected all Massachusetts communities with few exceptions. And I would highly endorse the motion to support the loan order. Yes, Councilor Cobus, you have the floor.
Thank you. And the thing that was encouraging for me to hear was that the pilot program with the new treatment option for the alternative, we had tried one option to reduce PFAS and it ended up with some, I think it was manganese that rose a little bit. And then the alternative, the initial results are starting to come in, and that the pilot program is working, and so we're getting some initial results back in, and so that's very positive. So based on that, I think it's perfectly reasonable to move forward with approving this, and I was very happy with hearing the results and hearing from the water superintendent, so I'm very comfortable moving forward. So,
That concludes your comments. I'll add that on the 14 years that I've been on the city council, Wading River has been a money pit through 4 water directors, all the way back to before Paul Kennedy. We have been replacing the sand beds, we've been replacing the buildings, we've been replacing designing the filter beds, buying very specialized stand for the filter beds. It has been, but it's 33%, I think, or 35% of the water that we consume, so it's a very important resource for the city of Attleboro. In this case, this is one that the state threw at us, so, it remains to be seen whether or not that's overprotection or not, but not having PFAS in our water is better than having it in our water. That's the bottom line. Any other comments? Yes, Councilor Bennett.
Just a question. So this is for the design, permitting, and bidding. Do we have a time frame on when we think the next phase of the funding will be requested?
We can be sure that it's going to be in the next fiscal year, so that the actual estimate for the cost of construction, I don't think you should expect to see that until January of '26.
Thank you.
It's just based on what I've seen, how long it takes for the design and the work, even though they now know what they need to do to create the plant still needs to be designed and constructed. Yes, Councilor.
Thank you. Just a follow-up to Councilor Bennett. I think that Superintendent Allen mentioned it. I can't remember exactly what she said. I'd appreciate if it would be possible for you to actually get that information from her. We don't meet again until November 7th, but I think it's an important question.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I'll get the answer. So we'll be requesting the date of construction costs,
Kind of the time frame and the timeline of the project.
which will be another bond. Very well. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, motion's in order. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. And lastly, the mayor has vetoed vote number 6 taken on October 17, 2023, which was the scholarship for the educational fund. And she sent a nice 2-page letter. When I got the news, I was a little irate, but she called me, which is very unique for Attleboro mayor, because I've done this to 3 different mayors that totally ticked them off and got very similar letters or nasty emails. But in this case, the mayor called me today and said, thank you for an article that I'd sent her on what's happening to libraries across the nation, and spoke very favorably about the measure and complimentary about the effort to put it forward. So, Mr. President, with your approval, I would like to forward this matter to the city's solicitor for the proper verbiage to be sent back down to the committee so the committee can reintroduce the measure going forward, because I think we all, including the mayor, believe this is a very worthwhile project.
Yep, I think that's fair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That concludes the business, unless you have additional discussion. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. Motion's in order. All in favor, say aye.
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 Say aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimously. I declare the Finance Committee adjourned at 7:21.
Good evening. I call Transportation and Traffic Committee to order at 7:21. Just two motions this evening. The first, from the docket of October 3rd, 2023, I entertain a motion to hold a public hearing on December 5th for the following. Request to amend revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, Section 10-5.2A, prohibited on certain streets as follows. Delete Holman Street, southerly side from Pleasant Street to Brook Street. Add Holman Street, southerly side from Pleasant Street to Forest Street.
Second.
Thank you. So this item, we've gotten a recommendation back from the Traffic Study Commission on this, and so really the next step for us is to hold the public hearing, which hadn't been called yet. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Aye. Motion passes. From the docket of August 15th, 2023, I entertain a motion to amend Section 10-4.11 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro, isolated stop signs, to add southbound drivers on Steeplechase Circle at Bishop Street.
Second.
Thank you. We received late last week back a recommendation from the Traffic Study Commission on this item. Turns out it's a T intersection and there's no sign currently. Normally with the layout of this particular street, we would see at the end of a development being built, we would see a stop sign be put into a location like this. There just wasn't one. And so what the residents are seeing is that cars are pulling out of Steeplechase and just sort of merging onto Bishop, which at certain times of day can be a very busy road. And particularly at night, it can be a little bit dark over there. So they thought this was a nice safety measure just to have the stop sign put in. Are there any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 7:23.
IT and infrastructure is canceled for today.
Reporting zoning and land use committee to order at 7:23. Myself, Councilor Conti, and Vice President Kobus. I just have one thing to review. It was already voted out of committee, but I wanted to provide the information. The mayor did send an email out, and I forwarded it to everyone about the $45,000 community impact grant. So I was able to get some clarification on that. This is, I'll just kind of highlight some of the email, but basically the mayor and the administration did intentionally apply for this community impact grant, and it's about exploring creation of an affordable housing trust. So this is the first step, but it would be before the council again if we decided, or if it was determined that the trust is the right way to proceed, which we don't know if the consultant is going to suggest that or not. But basically this individual would be reviewing our community and determining what ways we can best help the community with housing needs and issues. So it is a grant that the state is willing to provide to us, but it could start the ball rolling towards creating that trust, which has happened in other places in the Commonwealth. Did anybody have any other questions, Councilor Conti?
So, Council Holmes, I'm not sure that this is the best avenue road because of recent developments. On October 4th, Governor Healy signed a new law in the Commonwealth allowing homeowners to rent a portion of their home to under-income tenants for reduced rental prices and receive a tax exemption on their personal property tax bill. So that's now a law in Massachusetts, and it doesn't take effect, I think, until January 1st. Then, in addition to that, Governor Healy is planning on making a statewide mandate for accessory apartments to be allowed by right, which eliminates the need for the trust fund altogether. So my recommendation would be just to put this on hold for just a little bit until we determine, because I was going to put new business into the council next Tuesday for this new law, October 4th, from Governor Healy. But I want to do some more research before we do that, because I want to make sure there's no unintended consequences there. So if it's okay with you, I would ask that we just maybe let this mature a little bit before we put it up for a vote, either in the committee or on the council, so that we can see, number one, whether or not Governor Healy is going to mandate accessory apartments statewide, which I believe she is, or whether or not the October 4th legislation, which allows people to, by right, entitle themselves to a property tax exemption, which I see would be very beneficial for the senior population. So there's so many irons in the fire here that I think that we should hold off on this until we have a little bit more solid information, and that should not take too long. That concludes my comments.
Thank you. I really have to kind of ask the president something. So this was voted out of committee 2-1. I'm just providing this additional information, so I don't even know if I should even be bringing this up in committee or if I should have been doing it for the full council. And then it's already been voted out of committee at this point. So I just wanted to provide and make sure everybody received the email, and basically I appreciate your comments, but it may be more appropriate for the November 7th meeting where it's being voted in front of the full council, because this is just providing the information about what we've already voted out at this point. Is that correct, President?
Yeah, so I think that it was voted out of committee 2 weeks ago. The second was rescinded, so it is still out there. I think the update was appropriate. I think further discussion may be inappropriate until November 7th.
Very well.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that concludes the business. The other is we're waiting for the planning department to meet about on, I think it's November 6th, regarding the accessory ADUs. So we'll follow up with that after. That concludes the business this evening, and I'll call for an adjournment.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. We are adjourned at 7:28.
I'd like to call City Property and Claims Committee to order at 7:28. I have only one motion this evening to come out. From the docket of November 7th, 2023, I entertain a motion to approve a 36-month lease agreement between Quadient and the City of Attleboro for one VersaFeed for the folding machine.
Second.
Thank you. I think this is pretty self-explanatory, and we mostly do leases within the city. Any other questions, concerns? No. Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes. And that is all the business City Property and Claims Committee has this evening. I'd like to call for an adjournment.
Second.
Thank you. We are adjourned at 7. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 7:29.
I call ordinances, elections, and legislative matters to order at 7:29. Members of this committee include myself, Councilors Bennett and Holmes. And this evening we have two pieces of business. From the docket of October 17, 2023, I entertain a motion to call for a public hearing on December 5th, 2023 for changes to 7-8.2 of the city ordinance, requesting a review and overhaul of the abatement process for non-municipal users of the city's rubbish recycle program.
Second.
Any questions about the public hearing? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye. I did it.
Aye.
I had a question. I'm sorry. It just took me a second.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can we withdraw the second? And,
Well, you haven't declared the vote closed.
So because I'm just worried because there's going to be a whole new term then. I don't know if it would, because then we would have to have the public hearing on December 5th and then on December, I just don't know if that gives enough time to me.
can we call it for November 21st? I think we could.
There's an amendment for that. You would need to entertain an amendment.
Okay.
So Council
Like
Holmes would
to-
need to
Second.
make the
Or
amendment.
can I make an amendment,
Yep,
sorry,
sure.
for
Okay.
November 21st for a public hearing?
Yes.
Second.
Now you'll vote on the amendment, then you'll go back and vote on the motion as amended.
So, vote on the amendment to entertain a motion to call for a public hearing on November 21st.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so now we can
Motion
vote on
passes.
the, motion passes, yes.
And now you can vote on the motion as amended.
So now on the motion as amended, I entertain a motion to call for a public hearing on November 21st, 2023, for changes to 7-8.2 of the city ordinance, requesting a review and overhaul of the abatement process for non-municipal users of the city's rubbish recycle program.
Second.
All right, any other questions? Good there, okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. On the docket of January 17, 2023, I entertain a motion to call for a public hearing on November 21st, 2023 for the following amendment. Over the last 5 years, the mayor's administration has sought to make the city a cleaner, greener space for its citizens. As time progresses, it is becoming increasingly important that the city take steps that ensure that all of our decisions are consequent and sustainable actions. Sustainable by definition means that we do not harm our city, state, country, and planet. A city this size needs to consider countless variables in order to ensure that we're acting in a sustainable manner. However, it is becoming increasingly evident that there are too many variables for one person to consider. Therefore, the mayor is seeking to create a sustainability commission consisting of members who would be appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the council. The mayor hereby requests your honorable body amend Chapter 2 of the revised ordinances of the city of Attleboro by adding a sustainability commission.
Second.
Motion is in order. Any questions regarding this public hearing? Yes, Councilor Walker.
Actually, I'm directing my question at President Delicio.
Just a point of order, it's Councilor Tavares's meeting, so he
Fine.
has to
Okay, and
recognize you
then
to go
we'll
through the
see where
chair.
it
Yep,
goes.
thank you.
So my understanding is this would be the second hearing of this year.
Correct.
So my question is, since it's been so long since our first hearing, will people who spoke at the first hearing be allowed to speak at this second hearing?
I would assume so, being it's a new public hearing, but I would defer on the answer to that. Yes, President Delicio.
Thank you. Yeah, so in these situations, and they don't come up too terribly often, Council Waterman, really good question, thank you. We would allow that, because I think that so much time has elapsed, and I think that this is such an important issue and topic that we need to, my hope is that we get this situated by the end of the term, which I appreciate. That's the reason you wanted to hold the public hearing on the 21st. We did review it. We do indeed need that second public hearing because so much time has elapsed. But I would certainly allow people who've spoken at the first public hearing the opportunity to speak again.
Thank you.
Councilor Dolan, did you have a question?
It was answered
Okay.
through everything, thank you.
Yep, Councilor Angelo?
I just want to say, this will be good to get this taken care of and moving forward with this, because this is going to be a very important thing for the city, and so I'm looking forward to getting this done.
Yes.
Thank you. I think if I can say something, this is such a big topic, and there's been so many new drafts that have existed. When I was working on green communities here in Attleboro, I almost had like a binder in the council office that had the different drafts that were coming through and what we were working on. I almost feel like this requires that level of just letting us know and reminding us kind of where it started, where it's been. I know the administration just recently sent something else down. It would be helpful to kind of see that.
So there was a little debate there.
Yes.
So I thought it best to hold the public hearing first. I do
Okay.
have some revised language to propose as an
Okay.
amendment, but to give the residents maybe a chance to revisit this issue and then amend post public hearing.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and at that point, I think we can look at those various iterations and
Perfect.
compare those. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, Councilor Bennett.
I would support Councilor Holmes' suggestion. I think it'd be really important for all the councilors here to have access to something to see those changes and to see how this has evolved. I think a lot of thought has gone into this, and so I think it would be prudent to make sure all that information is available.
Agreed. Thank you. Yes,
Okay.
Councilor Ryan.
So is it your hope that we are able to complete this process and bring it to a decision before the New Year's comes in and the council changes?
That's definitely realistic, given the timelines. That would be
Okay.
the hope. Yes.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Any further questions, comments? All right, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. That concludes the business for ordinances, elections, and legislative matters. I move to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned at 7:36.
Councilor Reynolds, do you mind canceling public safety and emergency management?
And I'd like to cancel public safety and fire management for this evening.
Thank
I don't
you.
have it in front of me, I'm sorry.
Public safety.
Public safety, yeah.
Special Committee for Tax Abatement Review is canceled tonight.
Special meeting for compensation classification is canceled.
That is all she wrote. Have a good night, everyone. Just a reminder, we're not meeting next week. It's the 5th Tuesday, so you can go get your trick-or-treating done and have fun. All right. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.